Blog Talk Radio.
What's up, family? Let's talk about building together. All right.
Welcome to the Yasha Allah radio show, where truth is always true.
Well, obviously we have a rapist in Lincoln Park.
Yahweh Shem Yahushua Barakatah, family. Welcome to another edition of the Yasha Allah radio show. This particular show is a little bit different. Basically, it's about pretty much building together. But it's not for everybody. It's just for a chosen few, So those who are not able to be here live, they can hear this message later, like most of my archives, right? So the reason for this is because the scriptures tell us so. Nothing just happens overnight, and a lot of things that's being said on the streets. It's a great thing when folks don't understand it and they receiving it, but it's some things that's very confusing to folks, and they don't know which way to turn. There's a certain point of time when everything's supposed to come out. There's a certain point of time when things are supposed to gather. Gathering ourselves is just not about dark-skinned people, and I'm going to harp on this until the coming of the ships, because I already know that this is just an excuse to be angry, bitter, upset, mad at the world, and want to kill anybody that comes your way. I was once like that. I was in that frame of mind, led by depressed men. And this is why the children of Israel, the little ones, are being so in a rush and a haste to do everything, because you got these older guys out here who's been in since the late 80s, and they still preaching it the same way, have not been anointed at all. A lot of salty hearts, and they blame society for the mishaps, and they blame white folks, Arabs, Asians, Africans for everything that's up on them. When the book of Deuteronomy tells us that we're put here because of the curses. And they know that, but it's just that they're the same people that was here long ago. There's nothing new under the sun, so they want to cause hysteria. They're mad at the Most High. See, a lot of Israelites back in the day was mad at the Most High for the truth of such a stern law, statutes, and commandments. This is why the Israelites turned on Paul. Did not Paul teach the Gentiles? And did not the Gentiles follow Paul? And the Israelites resented Paul for that. Right? Just like they resent me. No, please don't give me that credit. I'm nowhere on Paul's level. I'm just making a point and giving an example. You have to clarify that. because our people are so ignorant, they'll run with that, right? Just make it a point where there's nothing new under the sun. When the Lord saw things that was wrong and told Moses how to illustrate it, they came up against Moses, didn't they not? Did not Moses go in the mountains for 40 days and came back and they made their own gods? Nothing new under the sun, man. And this was mostly Judah. Judah will not change. Judah just have issues. Judah want everybody to cater to them and give them something for free as they believe they deserve reparation. You don't deserve reparation until the Lord decides it's your time for 100-fold. You haven't did anything for reparation. All that happened to you was meant to be, right? So this is the reason for building, but not for everybody. This is for a hand-selected few folk, and the folks that want to live up on this reservoir have to be cleared through the eyes of righteous men, right? So it's just not a one-man's journey. This will be a few good men, and these men will have the ability to say yea or nay to folks who want to live on the reservoir. That's how it should be, and that's how it's always been with our biblical fathers. You just couldn't roll up on Paul and say, I'm with you. No. To prove yourself, right? Today's segment is called Building as a People. Let's gather ourselves and talk about building a ranch for righteous families, as our forefathers did in the days of old. Call in, sit in. Thanks for tuning in, sincerely. Right? That's me. So basically, that's where I'm at. We realize that this message will interfere with most folk because most folks don't want this society to end, and most folks don't have an ear to hear. So just like the time of Noah when these things start to come to pass, those will be the main folks knocking on your door. You know how they were. They laughed at Noah for, 80-some years, didn't they? And when the rain came, what they the first people to, no, I hear you now. Let's do this, right? But what did the Most High do? The Lord put the spirit on the animals, those animals that kept everything clean, like those pigs, those nasty animals, and those defiled animals, and pushed the people back because they was trying to bum rush the ark. But the animals pushed them back, didn't they? And Noah had a heart, man. Noah had sympathy, and he had love for his people. And Noah was really rekindling his thoughts. So the Lord put the spirit up on that ship to close itself. Y'all know that, right? Because Noah didn't close that door because he was like, man, I can't do it, right? But the Lord closed the door. But see, I'm a little different than Noah because my door is closed, and I got a lot of swords. You come on my door, and I don't know you, and I'm telling you, the ship is up. And you tell me, I hear you, Yash. I'm here now. Okay, stay right there. I'm going to bring you some donuts. Just give me a second. Chop your ass up, and nobody else going to see you. Real talk. See, we're in the days of stop playing around with these fools, man. We're in the days of war right now. And the righteous men should stand righteous, and the foolish men should stay foolish. We don't have time for idiocy. And these folks who don't want to adhere to this, that's fine. As I told you, there's only a handful that's going to get this and a handful that only we need. I was talking to one of my brothers last night, and we both was on the same page of talking about the righteousness and what we need to do. And we talked about the Most High when the Lord's Son was here on the earth. You and Yahweh streets. Isn't it ironic that out of all the people that love Yahweh and listen, he only picked 12? Isn't that something? He could have picked 12,000, couldn't he? Could have had a couple of million, right? So he only chose 12. See, the moral of the story is that you don't need 1,000, 10,000, 20,000, because a lot of times those folks are faking the funk anyway, right? Some people, you know how some people just go to a concert and want to see what it's about, and then when they ain't what it was, and they got a free ticket, they bounce. So this is what they think this is. Let's go see what the brother doing. You can peep all you want. And like I said, I may not catch on to what you're doing. It may take me a couple of weeks because I got my head so many places. But just as soon as I get a clear eye of what you're doing, I'm going to sharpen that sword. And you better get a head start, homie. because the gig is up. And that's the mindset we have to be in, because there's going to be scoffers. I don't know why our people think because a man has a beard and a garment and know a few scriptures, he's righteous. Man, that's the oldest trick in the town. That's the oldest trick in the town. Half the people on Facebook are not who they say they are. You understand that? And I always say, if they're so holy, they're not worth their works. If they want to sit back and critique and preach, they get out there for a couple of months, and after that, they're gone, don't they? They'll start off with all this, that, and the other. They'll give themselves a Hebrew name. After about 6 months, they go back to Jane Doe, right? They start off making a website. They're going to make a righteous website. They start off about 8-9 months, and the website get deleted. Why is that? I'm not talking about like a YouTube, because anybody can get deleted off YouTube. I'm talking about their own domain. They'll start off making their own personal domain like it's going to be righteous, and then next thing you know, it's gone. Then they back on Facebook, all folly, hollering at chicks, flashing money, showing their guns. That's who they were at the beginning. They was just trying to see where your head was. So to walk this tightrope, it's not something that you can just do overnight. This is something that has to be instilled in you. This is something that has to be in your blood. And no matter what folks say, no matter how personal you get, you have to keep stepping. Because we all know when this thing really gets crazy, all of that what folks are saying is going to go out the window, and they're going to have a change of heart quickly and say, I get it now. You ain't with me in the struggle. You ain't getting jack when the ship is up. See? I'll read a couple of scriptures. Let's go to Ephesians 2:21. And if you don't have your sword with you today, which is your Bible, you can go ahead and check on this later. But I'm going to read this. I'm going to go over a few scriptures and explain it, why this is the time right now that we're supposed to be building as spiritual men. Ephesians 2:21. And whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. The key word in this sentence is fitly. You have to understand the words how the Most High word. The Lord was big on words and numbers. When we use a word like fitly, it means a time. Let's look it up. And you should do that too. Look up some of the words I tell you about. It's spelled F-I-T-L-Y. And it means a suitable time. You understand what I just said to you? A suitable time. We're in that time now. Ephesians 2:21. And whom all the building, is it not this segment called building as a people? So listen. And whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord. When you put something together spiritually with brothers of understanding of the scriptures, the temple that you build together is holy. That's why I was telling you, brothers, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Because we're doing it in a fitly frame, meaning a certain time, which is the time of now. And we're doing it what? Together. Groweth unto holy temple. So it's going to be very holy. It's going to be a wise spirit that's protecting us, as is the archangels. You get this? Some of y'all going to say, I ain't never heard that. That's crazy. Go ahead. Keep sipping on your lattes and your Slurpees. You're already big as hell. You need to stop drinking all them sugar drinks anyway. But anyway, just go ahead and keep doing what you're doing. We got time to worry about the naysayers. We're going to keep it moving. Now let's go to Hebrews 9:11. Okay. It says, but Christ being come and high priest of good things to come, by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands. This is to say, not of this building. That particular scripture is talking about the things not of this world, because that tabernacle of the Most High is talking about the heavens. You understand that? There's a precept on this. Hebrews 9:11 says, but Christ being come as an high priest of good things to come. Okay. by a greater and more perfect tabernacle, not made with hands, that is to say, not of this building. Not of this building meaning not of this world. See, the Lord plays with words. You got to just understand that. So there's a precept. So let's find out exactly what the Most High is talking about. Let's go to 2 Corinthians 5:1. So this is going to tell you exactly what the Lord is talking about when he said that. For we know that if our earthly house, see, that's where we live right now, earthly house, right, of this tabernacle were dissolved, meaning if everything was wiped away. We have a building of Yahweh, and house not made with hands, eternal in the heavens. You get that? So what the Most High was saying, as I read before, fitly framed, we're in that time now to come together and build something holy. But at the same time, that house still may crumble because this is not our rest. We're just doing that to his presence, to arrive. You get that? So that's why you read Hebrews 9:11. It talks about a tabernacle not made with hands. And the precept of that is 2 Corinthians 5:1. For we know that if our earthly houses of a tabernacle was dissolved, our earthly houses where we live now, condos, townhouses, apartments, right? Dissolved meaning destroyed. We have a building of Yahweh and house not made with hands, internal in the heavens. That means your homes that he has for you, as the Lord told in the book, I think Matthew or John, that he go build a house for us in the heavens. That's what it's talking about, the mansions. But as of now, we're supposed to come together and build as a people. Did that make sense? If it didn't, rewind it back. The scriptures makes a lot of sense if you understand them. Some folk don't understand them because they into putting scriptures together for popularity and for showmanship and for a power trip on who got the most followers. And that's the problem we have on the streets. If these brothers were to just come back as a babe and leave all that stuff they thought they knew and really start over sincerely and apologize to the people, they would be washed with cleanliness and they would come with a different approach. But because they're so filthy and they know what they say is wrong and they twist the scriptures for their own justification, they can't be changed. So the Lord will leave them filthy, and he will leave them as babblers. That's why when I said come together as a people, the chosen and righteous, it doesn't register with them. It's like, wait a minute. We've been teaching like this for 30 years. How can he come along and see it different? Because the Lord is not with you. That's why I can see it different. And when the folks are righteous, it doesn't matter what breed they are, man. The Israelites going to be the Israelites no matter what. You can't change that. But if they're righteous, they're going to be righteous. You can't change that either. And that was in the book of Romans that the Lord was upset with Judah because they didn't want to accept the Gentiles. I think I read that once before. I wasn't planning to bring that out. And I'm not sure if I can find it right now. So I'm just going to try and see if I can stumble upon it. Because our people have a tendency to tell y'all that it's all about the race, and it's not, man. This is part of the reason they can't get ahead. You think you're doing okay sleeping on grandma's floor, or you have no spiritual bone in your body, all you preach is hate. It don't make sense to me, right? And they really think they up on it, you know, the way they talk. Let's see if I can find the scripture. I'm looking at it, but I don't know if I got the right one. Okay. Now check this out. This is Romans 11 and 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery. The mystery is understanding how the Lord works in the spirit, not the flesh. That's why the word of the Most High is always a mystery. It's unknown. That's why it's not open to everybody. Although these brothers do a good job of doing the best they can do, but a lot of them preach it the same way, and there's a reason why they do that. But anyway, let's go back. Romans 11 and 25. For I would not, brethren, that ye should be ignorant of this mystery, lest you should be wise in your own conceit, right? That blindness in part is happened to Israel until the fullness of the Gentiles come in. You got to understand what it meant, the conceit, because most of our people believe they know this word so profound that nobody else should get this word but dark-skinned people. And that's where they misconcept that's why they so babblers and confused in understanding what's really at hand. You can't change the bloodline. If the dark-skinned folks in this kind, the reason I say if they of Israelites, the reason I say if, because most people with the last name, with American last name, they don't know if they're from Shem or Jacob. They come from, they can only trace their bloodline back to the south. They're slave masters. So they better hope that they're Israel. And since your bloodline doesn't go back to Shem, as of right now, the only way the Most High can judge you is on your spirit, and your spirit is foul, right? So listen to what the scripture is saying. Romans 11:25. For I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant. Ignorant means don't know, and they don't know. They don't understand the mystery. The mystery is unknown to a lot of people. The Lord hasn't opened this spirit to everyone. Although they believe, since they're on the highway screaming at police officers getting arrested, that they're in the truth, because they wouldn't be getting arrested if they wasn't in the truth. Well, if I go in the corner right now and hold a sign and shout at everybody coming by, I'll be arrested too. Be lucky they didn't put me in a straitjacket, right? Just ignorance. But anyway, for I would not, brethren, that you should be ignorant of this mystery, lest you should be wise. You should be wise by now. You've been out there 20, 30 years and still preaching the same way. Man, you need to stop. So let's go. Should be wise in your own conceits. That blindness, see, that's why they're blind, because they're so angry and bitter, have so much hatred, they can't see what the Lord is bringing forth, so they become blind. Listen, that blindness in part is happened to Israel. Well, who is Israel? Isn't that supposed to be abbreviation for Israelites? There's nothing new under the sun, man. They was doing this back in the day of, and they're doing it now. There's nothing new. So check it. That blindness in part is happened to Israel, and to the fullness of the Gentiles become in. So what does that mean, become in? If they love the Lord, if they want to follow his laws and statutes, I don't care what ethnicity they are, we're supposed to preach to them, and they're supposed to abide by the rules. Why is the Lord going to destroy the majority of Esau and his people? And a lot of y'all saying because they're the devil. Nah, that ain't got nothing to do with it. There's a lot of black devils. You don't think Jacob got devils in their camp? Come on, man. What's the real reason the Lord is going to destroy the majority of the Esau's population? Now, a lot of them are going to make it, but a lot of them are going to be destroyed. So the real reason why the Lord is going to destroy most of Esau's population, because they refuse to follow the laws and statutes and commandments, much like us, but they have done much worse than we have. See, we follow strange gods, but they create strange gods. You get that, right? They created another Sodom and Gomorrah. The Israelites never created Sodom and Gomorrah. They went into Sodom and Gomorrah and dated strange flesh, but they never created nothing like that. They came over us because the Lord allowed them to be over us, because we didn't hearken. But they had rules to follow, and Esau refused to follow the rules. Now, a lot of the Gentiles do follow the rules, but it's unfortunate that the majority of the population of Esau will be destroyed. But that don't say that there are many Gentiles who will make it through and be in the kingdom. You can't deny it, man. You can't deny it. This is part of the reason the Lord had a problem with Israel, because people of other ethnicity wanted to understand this truth, and we turn our back. Look on the highways. Africans come up and say, "Where you from?" "From Africa." "We can't help you. This ain't for you." How is it not for them? Did you write the word? No. Did you create the word? No. Can you give life? Can you forgive sins? No. Then how can you say that that man cannot deserve to hear the word and change his life and serve Yah? See that? That's foolishness. Let's go to Revelation. Go to Revelation 7. Listen to this, 7 and 3. Saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants of Yahweh in their foreheads. That means it's going to come a time when the Lord is going to know who we are. He knows a lot of us now, but the real test is when they change the currency, and the only way you can beg, borrow, or steal is have the mark of the beast. As I told you a couple of years ago, the mark of the beast was going to come in a tattoo. It's already here. It's kind of funny when you speak in the spirit, the Lord let things manifest to opposed to speaking in the flesh. Yes? So that's what that is talking about. When it really gets hard, because it's not there yet. That's why when we gather, we're going to be in strength. We're going to build this thing together. We're going to be in strength. And they cannot come up against us. Y'all understand that, right? They should not come up against us, nor can they be against us on any form or type of level. It's just so sad. I wish I could reach all my brothers, even the ones that hate me, because, man, I don't hate them. I know they come to my YouTube page and say nasty things and call me this and call me that, but at the end of the day, I understand what it's like to be blind. I know what it's like to be misguided. But until they humble their hearts and walk away from them foolish elders, they're not going to get it, because those men are bitter and they're angry at the world, and they're putting their frustrations on the little ones. The little ones are you who accepting that folliness and walking in their light. Why come everything they say don't come to pass? They've been telling you the world going in for 20 years. You don't supposed to do that. No man knows the hour, not even the archangels, not even Yahweh Shai. Lord. Let's continue. Revelation 7 and 4. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and they were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. We're talking the 12 tribes, y'all. That's the chosen. Those are the chosen people, okay? The righteous people are the people who are not of the 12 tribes, such as your Asians, your Arabs, your Africans, the Gentiles. It's just so simple. Why is it so difficult to accept? Why couldn't we doing the same thing our other forefathers done before us? Why couldn't you so bitter? Why couldn't you so angry when the Lord put this on us? They didn't do this to us. I'm not telling you that racism don't exist. It does, brother. But it exists for a reason. The Lord told us everybody would hate us for no reason. And they do. Let's continue. We're going to drop down to Revelation 7 and 9. And this I beheld, and lo, great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations. There we go with plural. Nations is plural. If the Lord was talking about one person, he said, I know of no man could number of a nation. That means he's just talking about Israel. But he said nations, he's talking about a lot of people besides Israel. Let's go. Of all nations and kindreds and tongues of people. And he's talking about nationalities and different ethnicities of languages. Do you get this? It's so self-explanatory if you read it right. Of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes in the palms of the hand. That means they was marked to be saved. We'll continue. We have about 10 minutes left, and those on the phone will continue to hear this. I think I got a call in the waiting. I'll see if there's really a call if a person made a mistake and hit the wrong button. But let's go there, okay? Good afternoon. You're on the Yashala Radio Show. What's your view on today's topic?
Hey, Yash, how you doing?
Shalom, Mark.
Hey, man, it's glad to hear your voice, man. It's been a long time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I understand you're out there in Colorado?
What's that?
You're out there in Colorado, right?
Yeah, we're out here for now. We're going to probably be out here. I think this was a move follow spiritual move.
All right. Hey, I got a question to ask you, man.
All right, go ahead.
What's your take on the rapture?
There's no such thing. There's no such thing. That's Christianity talk, and that's talk of churches from the time of in the times of the days of old. The Lord warned us about talk of rapture. They want you to believe that there's a rapture and you're going to look around and you're not going to see this person and not going to see that person. But the Lord don't work that way. That's man's doings again to put fear in the hearts of you to come to their churches and give tithing and to wait for the ship. Listen, there's no such thing as rapture. When this thing comes down, the Lord's going to know who you are by the markings of your forehead. This is why it's such a diligent thing to understand where we at right now, because we're right now in the seventh stage. And the only rapture is going to be FEMA coming in your house, whipping you behind. The salvation of the Most High people is through the faith and understanding His laws and statutes to the best of your ability while you're in captivity. But there's no such thing as rapture.
Okay, well, how about this? What about the resurrection of the Father's Son?
He's already here. I mean, the brother, the Yahushua was resurrected on the third day when they crucified him. He's already here. He just haven't made himself present.
Right. So you believe in the resurrection, right?
Yeah, when he was crucified.
Okay, so if you believe in the resurrection, and you say that there's no such thing as a rapture, I don't know, bro.
Yeah, you ain't making sense, Ak. Listen to this. Resurrection, it ain't what I believe in. So you got to understand. The Lord has told us in the book of Romans, it's not what I believe. That's how we get confused. If we go preaching about we believe, we're going to have a state of T.D. Jakes folks in here, and we're going to be hooping and hollering and dancing. If we go to the book of Romans, I believe that's 3 and 3, it says, for what if some did not believe? People are not going to believe that there's no such thing as a rapture. Should the unbelief make the faith of Yahweh without effect? That means the Lord's still going to do what He needs to do. Forbid ye, let Yahweh be true. But every man is a liar. So when you sit back and say you believe, or you're quoting things that's not what the Lord said, you're a liar and you're offending the little ones. Resurrection is truth. The Lord risen 3 days, and this is not your first time here on earth. You know, the Lord decided to bring you back for a reason, whether it be good, bad, or the ugly. But we're only here to learn a lesson, and it's up to us. He gave us our own free will to turn our lives to His laws and statutes. But it's unfortunately the majority of our people will not, because they like confusion, they like controversy, and they just like being clowns. And that's why our people are the last to get everything together. And it's going to be the same way when the destruction comes. They won't start knocking on your door until they see the cloud in the sky.
Okay, but still, man, I mean, when you talk about the chosen and the righteous, how the Lord's going to, like, have that seal on our foreheads, and He's going to, like, us up, because I heard, like, you know, sermons about, you know, we will meet Him in the clouds, you know, the save and all that, though, but to me, man, that's still on that rapture, man. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but I can say the rapture has nothing, and it's just a metaphor of Christianity. If you listen to what the church people say with rapture, what do they tell you? There's going to come a time when things going to get so bad and you're going to wonder where Grandma at. Grandma going to be gone in the sky. Grandma going to have her ass pulling that damn cord around her neck saying, I fallen and can't get up. That's the only thing Grandma going to be doing, because ain't no damn rapture going to save her like that. The book tells us in the book of Revelation how the Lord going to choose us, man. He's going to choose us by what's embedded in us, because it's going to come a time when they're going to ask you to take that mark because you're not going to be able to beg, borrow, steal without it. The currency of debit cards is going to be gone. The cash flow is going to be gone. And if you don't have the mark to show that you have it, you can't beg, borrow, steal because the mark is going to come with so much currency on it. It's going to have money already on it. And it's not going to be money they have to produce. It's going to be money out the air. What's money out the air? Digital money. Just money they can make up out there and put it on serial number, and that's your money. There's nothing they really have to produce. It's just fake money, right? So that's going to be your currency. If you can't produce that, then it's going to be a problem. But if you take that mark, that's why the Lord said in 7, check it, and 7, Revelation 7 and 4. Well, 7, let's start 7 and 3. It says, saying, hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have filled the servants of Yahweh on their foreheads. Like I said, again, this is nothing that I'm saying. If you don't believe the scriptures, it's really nothing I could really gravitate to you because everything that I quoted is coming straight out of Revelation. The Lord's going to give you the seal of who you're supposed to be so that you could be accepted when the angels do come to gather you. That don't mean a rapture, though. That don't mean you're just going to disappear one day and say, where's Tommy? Damn, man, I don't know. Tommy must be going in the sky. We ain't seen him since yesterday. Tommy done went to the hills, but Tommy ain't to the sky. You're going to know who's being taken because at that time the angels going to reveal themselves. It ain't going to be a mystery.
Okay. All right. Well, thanks for the information. I appreciate it.
No problem, Hawk. Take care.
All right, thanks, man.
That's where we at, Israel. I think a lot of times our people get misconcepted, and that's the problem with Israel, Judah, because we coming straight out the scriptures. I come straight out the scriptures. It's nothing I believe. See, that and that's a problem. We have to always illustrate to our people, this is not my word. Let me reiterate, because if I hadn't told that brother or read another scripture, he probably would have took it as this is what I'm saying and this is my belief. I don't roll that way. I don't quote what I believe. See, because the Lord told us in Romans 3:3, we don't roll like that. You know, every man is a liar. When a man starts quoting things that he knows for a surety that what's going to happen, he's a liar because the Lord said every man is a liar. He's the only one with the truth. So how can an elder tell you they're the only one with the truth? They're bafflers. They're damn bunch of silly rabbits. Anybody that tell you that they got the truth, take them to Romans 3 and 4. The Lord will tell you every man's a liar, right? So if we're not coming from the scriptures and showing brotherly love, then who are we? Then what's your purpose of teaching? See, if we're not allowed to teach other nations, then why did the Lord create other nations? You got some silly rabbits out there saying the Lord only created other nations just to help us. We the one going to keep it on lockdown. Is that truth? Well, we go to the book of Maccabees, it shows us a variety of ethnicities that helped us in the war. So, you just cut yourself. If we go back in the biblical times, and Paul taught a lot of different ethnicities, not just Israelites, because the Israelites thought they was high and mighty. When the Lord took the Israelites out of Egypt by putting the blessings on Moses to take them out of that rut and showing Pharaoh that the Lord meant business, and Pharaoh let the people go. Actually, it was the third son because Pharaoh Sr. passed, then Pharaoh Jr., he passed, and the last of the pharaohs took on the daddy's name. When the Lord put Moses in charge to take his people, how did the Lord feed the Israelites? Manning, something like that. In other words, he made it rain food. But he didn't do any type of food. What type of food he made it rain for 40 years? Vegetables. You know, did y'all know that? Vegetables and certain types of angel bread for 40 years. And they knew that came from the heavens of the Heavenly Father. There's nothing like the Lord bringing you food. They knew where the food was coming from for 40 years. what did the Israelites say on that 40th year? After no, I take that back. What did the Israelites say along the way after so many years of being fed from the heaven, and they knew that the food was coming from the heaven? The Lord, see, that's why I told you in the times of the Lord was revealing the things that He would do, His powers to us, because we were so on point. But there was still some that was bitter and thought they was better than the Lord, like today. So what was they complaining about? Throughout the 40 years, the Lord was feeding them vegetables. They couldn't get no meat. They wanted meat. Yeah, these vegetables, it's cool. You know what I'm saying? I mean, ain't nothing wrong with this little angel bread. Yeah, I know the Lord is real, but damn, man, what a fish? What a peppers? I mean, what a chicken? That's us. That's our people. A Negro don't have a pot to piss in and one to throw it out of. You can give him a bed. You can give him shikoi, which is money in Hebrew. You can give him transportation. And you can even give him a woman. You know what he's going to say? Yeah. I appreciate all that. I appreciate the money, the transportation, the food, the bed. I appreciate this woman you set me up with. But I only got one toilet in here. I prefer 2 or 3. One toilet ain't going to do. Tell me that ain't Judah. You can't satisfy a fool. I don't care what you do, that's Judah, man. That's Judah. And that's where we at today. That's why our people can't get it. They can't receive it because they're so unappreciative. They're not humble. How many times have you heard an elder say he was sorry? I ain't saw one. And if they have, forgive me. But thus far, as many videos that they make, I ain't heard one say, I was wrong on that scripture. Because they don't make mistakes. They better than Moses. Moses made mistakes, and he would say he was sorry. All the biblical men made mistakes. Did not the Lord say that we are liars? If we on this earth, we're liars. So how can you not make a mistake in this word you never written? The Lord didn't hand you this word Himself. If you're not speaking in the Spirit, who gave you this word? Amazon gave you that book. Walmart gave you that book. You haven't had the Lord's counsel. If you have, you wouldn't be looking at the society the way you do. You got nerve to say this word is only for Israel. So I guess we're going to be a bunch of black-ass niggas in the kingdom with funky-ass socks on, watching big booty hoes, eating peanut butter sandwiches, bananas, and Jumbo Jacks. So that's what it would be, spending on 20, have the chariots on 20s. That's niggas. Please, man. Please. Anyway, I thank y'all for showing up, man. Those who are here, those who didn't, they'll be able to listen to it later. I just want to let y'all know that we're building as a people. And I don't care who don't like what I said, and I don't care who think it's wrong for what I'm saying. I know how the Lord anointed me. And whomever has an ear, even if they're of other races, and they want to hear this word and they follow the law, statutes, and commandments and do it diligently, they are part of the brotherhood of the kingdom. They can never be the chosen because that's bloodline. That's the 12 tribes. But if they want to be of righteousness, as the book of Revelation, so many nations that you can't count of all kindreds and tongues, then so let it be, y'all. That's why y'all can't get blessings on that sitting on plastic couches and sweating and shit. What the hell you got the plastic on the couch for in 2013? Get that damn plastic off the couch. Oh, silly rabbits. And I can't stand fools. It is what it is. I'll talk to y'all soon, man. And the ones who are serious, you have to send me your email. Go to my YouTube channel and check out the videos where you can send the emails on your profile, and we'll check you out. All right? The Wada Shalom.